highest offices, they curse. Don't you know that that's true? Look at the Nixon tapes. Listen to them, man. Those guys cursed up a storm, and they all said, fuck, 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 fuck. We're fucked. Mostly was what they said is, I don't know. But those Nixon tapes is it, and those are the highest office educated motherfuckers that didn't have a thing except to know that they were the man in charge and they were going to get screwed. No, they were going to get charged with being something that they didn't need to do. And then they were charged and then they had to go ahead and discharge their office and he had to run. Mr. Nixon didn't have a whole lot of fun, but he cursed a lot in those Nixon tapes. And that's something that's a fact. And we cannot say those people in charge would never make the mistake of cursing at all because they could never curse because they're too much men of God or men of Christ, or they are just too educated and erudite to be men who would be beneath themselves to curse. They wouldn't be the ones who reduce themselves in curse. They wouldn't be the ones who would say curse words simply to describe something that they needed to, and then display themselves in the highest offices on TV and maybe even in the Skaduna, even in the dome of whatever might be their state, or maybe into even the capital of Washington State. Maybe it would be the Washington of the United States. Maybe it would be in the Congress that they would display themselves after they cursed up a storm in their office because they yelled about mistakes. Maybe that the people that don't curse at all could be true, but I really doubt that the people that are in charge of this country never curse is what I say is true. I think they curse up a storm sometimes, it's true, but I'm sure that there are those who don't curse, which is definitely, I'm sure, true. Choice of cursing is what some might say is true, but if you curse and you're somebody who doesn't know what to do and you don't have a thing to say except to curse, 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 curse is somebody who hates you or doesn't like the way that you talk because they think that you're a dodo dummy because that's not what's true, then you're a person who can curse back to them. It's true, but God says that it's not real reason to curse when you're just mad at somebody. Yeah, it's not true, but you can curse at them if you want to curse, but you can't curse with them. Isn't true. You can curse up a storm and then be buddies afterwards because you cursed up and you just found each other so damn impressive at the cursing that you did do. But if you're somebody who doesn't believe that cursing is right, then you're somebody who believes that cursing is wrong, then you're somebody who believes that cursing is wrong, then you're somebody who believes that cursing is wrong, then you're right to believe that cursing is wrong too, because cursing can be the thing that leads up to fighting more, and that's something that's true. But if we curse and if we yell, God tells me, then we're not going to fight, throw hands until we stop talking, and then everything goes to hell. So if we talk, we're in a discussion. It's true. But if we curse at each other, we could elevate the discussion to hands, fisticuffs in a minute. Isn't true. If we curse at each other, we might get a little bit raw. We might get a little wrong. We might say things that we regret or think is badass the way we describe, get off some things off our chest and say, you suck, and then I hate your fucking ass, and then you say those things, and then it's gone. Then you stare at each other and wonder what went wrong. Why are you not friends anymore, acquaintances like you used to be? Why couldn't you get along like you used to? Now you're just cursing up a storm because you can't be free to be the people that you used to be when you first met. It's true. But now you're just like annoyed at each other because you don't like each other, so you start to curse a little bit under your breath. It's true. We can lose friends in those ways, and God tells me it's okay to curse. No, it's not okay to curse, but it's something that happens on this earth. It is something that we can do. It's not a curse. Curse words can be descriptive as hell too. We can describe words to each other in the way we curse in the enunciation of what we say and do. We can describe each other like, oh, fuck you. And that's an angry curse. Now, fuck you is an angry curse. And then, fuck you. And that's an angry curse. And then a buddy might say, fuck you. That's not really good, but I might say, fuck you. And that might mean like I'm kind to you, but I love you. Or I might say, fuck you. Because you did something amazing that I did see. And I couldn't do it. And so I was a little bit jealous at you. And I still admired you to no degree. And I just said like, fuck you. How could you be so damn amazing? I couldn't even believe. Fuck you. You are just an awesome person, man. That's the most amazing thing I'd ever seen. Fuck you. I wish I could do that like you do. Fuck you, man. I love the way you do the things that you do. Fuck you, man. I can't believe how good, amazing you are. That's how we might talk to somebody that we really speak all from the heart. But we're using curse words. It's true. Buddies curse all the time. It's true. Blue-collar people curse just like anybody else. Is true. They curse any better now? Who knows who curses in the highest office better? You got people in the highest office in the presidential suites, maybe cursing up a storm, and then somebody from down the street, downtown, maybe someplace that lives in a lesser degree of wealth. Maybe they're just a bum. Maybe there's somebody who just went to hell. Now they're coming in, making their way back up in there, maybe crossing paths, and they curse with somebody who's living in the highest of office in some of this land. And then they sit and talk a little bit. Then they start to get mad. Then they start to curse who's going to be the winner at the curse words. I don't know. Who's going to throw hands first? This is what might say. Dude, that blue collar guy, he's going to bust the chops into that dude, that little sissy. That's Alexa cursing not. All right, she's done. But if you don't like what I say and you think that I'm a joint, I don't know what that means. I'm joint. I'm a joint. I'm a good joint. Joint. What does it mean? I don't know. But if you have a little bit of what you might want to do, maybe you might want to be a little bit cursing for you. Maybe you want to curse a little bit more, just to get things off your chest. It's true. It can alleviate some tension. That's what God says. It's true. You go ahead and curse and reduce anxiety. Nah, it makes it worse. But you can go ahead and reduce your way you want to curse. It's true. You can simply reduce the amount of curse words you do or say, and then you're somebody who doesn't curse the same way. But then you speaking a little bit more is what you might find is true. Maybe you don't like the way you speak without those curse words that you like to throw around just at pals the way you do. And it's okay as long as they're pals who understand you, that you're not trying to make fun of them in a way that hurts them because you curse a word or two. Maybe they find it more important that you curse a little bit to them. What they know is you. The person who curses with love, and that's love of cursing, is something that they'd love to see in you. And if you have a relationship like that with somebody who expects you to be a little bit loose with your words, and that means you're happy or you really like them that day or that moment, they did something that you know they loved because they cursed at you. Or maybe they just see you one first time face to face in a while and they curse up a storm because they just love the shit out of you and say, motherfucker, I'm so glad to see you. Motherfucker, I'm so glad you're here to me. I'm so glad you're here. You fucking dick. I have missed you so much. Cocksucker. Those are all ways to curse and endearment. There's ways to curse, so we love to curse. Sometimes it's true. Other people might find it uncouth. Other people might find it something that reduces our credibility as a human being. Our credibility as somebody who might be obscene. No, that gives us credibility. Credibility as somebody who might be worth something. Or credibility that might be worth a buck or two. I'm worth a buck or two, probably. But if you curse and you're obscene, that's something that God says can be a little bit more offensive than might seem. People who say talk about God and then curse, what the hell are you doing, man? That's the worst. You ain't never going to be taken seriously? I hope so. Not true. I know that God runs through me through and through. But if we look at God a little bit different way, nah, God's not different. He's just the way he is. It's true. Why would God be so offended that we'd curse? Why would he be so offended that you curse? Why would he be so offended that you were the worst cursor? Why would he be offended that you curse at all? Why would he be going, man, you curse like shit, man. I don't even know why I made you, because you curse like caca. And that's all you do. You curse a petty curse. I'd curse up a storm if I were God, and God would say, I could do it better than anybody could do. I'd be the curse champion that you couldn't even try to be close to me. Nah, you'd be the one who'd be the loser in every jam that we get into. We curse up a storm, and I'd have fans, and you wouldn't have no fans about your cursing peak, because your peak would be a little peak squeak, and I'd be the one who'd be the baddest cursor ever to be, because I'm the motherfucker of all cursors that ever has been seen, because I'm the one that made everything that you see, and I'm the one who did everything better than you could ever do it to every degree. So why wouldn't I be the one who could curse and take it all? Why wouldn't I be the one who wouldn't think someone was absurd because I made you all? Why would I be someone who'd reduce you to something unimportant to me when I love all of you, even if you cursed straight up at me? And if God tells me, Mr. Roman, you've cursed up a storm to God a time or two, you've thrown up hands and you've gone ahead and given a finger or two, maybe more times, and said a whole bunch of fuck yous when God tried to talk to you because you got just pissed because God didn't tell you anything that you said was anything legit. And then you got mad because God just kind of went quiet on you. And then you were like, why the hell are you in my life? Because you don't speak to me like you used to, or you just abandoned me and now I got to do something that I can't do without you now because I just don't like not hearing you. Or maybe you just said something that offended me and I didn't know why I got offended, because God's the one who tells me to go get offended at what I say to you, because I'm the one who made you and made you to be a man who could stand up tall, a man who could stand up wise, a man who could stand up to anything that you thought was unwise, a man who could stand up to anything and say to any degree, I'm a man who doesn't want to curse, but I can see cursing in you and me. But if God tells me that I can curse up a storm, it wouldn't be true because I wouldn't choose to curse because I wouldn't be the one who'd say, God, why would I curse to you? I wouldn't curse to you if I didn't have a reason to. And God says, that's true. People can curse at me, and they always do. They're always throwing up their fingers at me too. They're always kind of giving me the bird, even in their head. It's true. They're always hearing a little FUs, and they talk about my son like he was a little boo-boo. And then they say all kinds of offensive things to me. But see, I don't take it to offense because I love them to no infinite degree. Infinite is what I love my children, and that's you. All of you who might be watching me, who might say I'm cursing up a no storm because you can curse better than me. Probably. I don't know. I'm not really much of a cursor. Is it true? But if I got cursing on my mind, why would it be that I would curse to you? No, not to you. I wouldn't curse to you unless you offended me, maybe. I wouldn't be too beneath being the one that would curse at you, or maybe curse during a sentence that I described something to some degree. But if you were somebody who suddenly stopped our convo right in midstream just because I said the word shit or something that you found it sounded to be wrong or obscene, not because the word or thing was wrong, but you just found cursing to be obscene to you, not sexually obscene, but just character obscene. You just stopped the conversation you midstream, and then you told me, "Why do you have to curse, man? I'm not going to talk to you if you're going to curse. You know, if you're going to curse, I'm not going to talk to you. There's no reason to curse, okay? And we're talking about something important. Why the fuck would you stop me talking just because you wanted to make a point that you weren't going to talk to me because I cursed? Fuck you for stopping me if I'm talking about something so important. I could give a shit about your decorum or belief that cursing was unacceptable for me to say when I was absolutely in an emotional state that required me to express something so important to me that you reduced my importance to simply you got offended because I cursed and you couldn't carry on with conversation because I said a curse word or you knew I may begin to curse. Your ears are so delicate that you couldn't handle a conversation with curse words, or you're just so high above me because you won't curse to, or you won't listen or be exposed or be subjected to me cursing in your presence because you are what? Too good for cursing in a serious conversation? Or now you can't be serious in a conversation? Or you can't take me serious in a conversation, even if the conversation is serious to the bone, to both of us? Would you stop our conversation until I gathered myself and stopped cursing so that you could listen to me? Or would you just muscle through and not be an asshole to someone who needed to explain something so important or talk about so important that you were willing to talk until you stopped them midstream conversation because they cursed? Not at you, but just cursed. That's fucked up. If people do that to people, it's true. But people have a right to go ahead and have their opinion about what cursing says to them and what they think it reduces them to be. Because if someone says, I can't convo with you if you're cursing, I can't stand that. I don't want that to be how we converse. And the reason they might say that is because they might think that it's beneath them. No, because they don't want to be the ones who feel less intelligent, erudite, important, or what? Significant, worth what? If they feel less because somebody curses to them, then they're having a conversation with somebody who they must believe is less to them. Because if the person is less to no one, but then less to them when they curse, why would you think that you would become less if you were conversing with someone who cursed in a conversation so important that they needed to just converse with you, and cursing just became something that became part of their speak? You're not better than anyone that you can't let them curse in your presence, is what I say. But if you have a fine line or a line in the sand that's absolute and you don't accept cursing in front of you, then you have every right to tell someone it's true. But if they just don't like it and they can't converse the way they are you conversing to you, that makes no difference to them. It's true. But if they decide to go ahead and try to abide by your rule of no cursing in a serious conversation, they cannot. They're the ones who may lose the steam in conversing with you to make a point that may need you to be convinced of something that they say. And if they lose that steam and that confidence in the way they speak to you because you went ahead and stopped them midstream because you cursed, then you're a person who, in my opinion, sucks at being an asshole because you are a pussy when it comes to conversing with people that might curse. It is true. God's going to be like, you're not very polite, Miss Ramon. No, I'm not polite sometimes. God's real badass to me, and he's the one who can handle all my cursing. That I curse at him sometimes is true. I try not to curse at him too much is true. I try to mind my manners and mind my P's and Q's, because he's the one who talks to me all the time, and I try to talk to him too, and I talk to him successfully. What he says is true. And when I talk to him, he's a real stickler for politeness and proper etiquette. Is not true. He just loves for me to speak with the truth, and he loves for me to speak with honesty, and he hates pretense, and pretense is fakery in the way we feel about something. And it's an amazing thing for me to feel. When I feel something, the guy says, hold on a second, buddy, is that how you really feel? And he can feel the pretense, and so can I too. He draws it to my attention, then I realize, shit, that is me not feeling sincere about something. Just the awareness of pretense in me when I speak to God is something that I choose to follow, and I say, it makes me more sincere down the road if I just observe that I'm pretensing to God, being pretentious, being pretentious. Yeah, if I'm not being sincere, it makes me more sincere because I make myself to be aware that my sincerity is lacking. If my sincerity is lacking, then the truth of who I am when I speak, whatever lack of sincerity I express to someone, that I may be able to leave the less sincere because I'm aware of it. And I choose to not be someone who decides that I'm going to go ahead and be Mr. Not aware of my own pretense. And if I'm aware of me, I'm aware of you, I'm aware of something else too. That if I choose to say, hey man, what you got inside of you to say if I say to you, poem time. So I ask God, how am I doing, Dad? And Dad goes, you're doing all right, man. You're not really talking about anything that's new. People talk about cursing all the time. People talk about the way that cursing is a part of their life is not true. People talk about cursing every day. No, people curse every day. When people are obscene every day to some, people that curse are wrong to curse. There's something wrong with you. You can't do anything right because you curse. Stop it. You know how less of a human being you are just because you curse? Jesus Christ, man. Sorry. That'd suck to have to fucking listen to people like that. And control your behavior, control your life, and control your fate. Just simply they drew a line in the sand that said, this person curses, so they're never going to get a job in my company, ever. Fuck them. Yeah, it can be like that, hypocritical for sure. All right, poem time. What's the poem about? I say, anybody have any ideas that I might do a poem? Anybody might spit out a poem idea for me, a title? Go on. You can be obscene? No. You can be jerky? Sure. You can be prickish? Why not? You can be a dick? Well, yeah, you can be nice. You can be nice. You can be nice too. You can be respectful and all that stuff too. I don't mind. But the theme today is cursing. Cursing is not something that I like to do. No, I enjoy cursing because I enjoy it when I am amicable about it and I am term of endearment, so to speak, to my friends and to people I love. And I do love people and I curse at them and I curse at them up a storm, especially when they piss me off because they're doing shit that they shouldn't do or maybe because I love them and I want them to understand that I love them. You know, this motherfucker's so stupid for staying high. This motherfucker can't do things right because he gets high. Dude, stop being a fool. Stop fucking around. Stop being a fucking douchebag and get fucking sober. I love you, man. Don't stop, man. Dumbass, stupid fuck to their face. I wouldn't mind. And they look at me like, and then I'd hug them, say, stop it, you stupid idiot. Don't die. Yeah, that's just me, you know. That's my way of communicating sometimes when I want to go, pinky up.